Yeah,
Go.
if I fall.
Go.
Okay. Go, go, go. Ramblings of a Gander, wandering on the wander. There's always something out there. Uh, no,
Sounds like you lost signal or whatever, man. Get to a better position.
so we may hear some of my poor internet connection. This is not good way to start, but I guess we're here. So, anyways, we are where we're at and how we got there. You got to know how it ended to be able to tell the story from where it started. So start at the end. You can't tell a story if you don't know how it started. And sometimes the devil's in the details. And it ain't nothing as easy as that. Everyone wants to know how it ended, even more than how it started. The end is a combination of actions. Give me the recipe. And that's a no, or that's a true story, or some say that's a no shitter for sure. I might say that sure enough. So that's his PP and me PG plus the mini Vinnies and the PonderGander and the paraphrase plagiarist. Some people said that I was a teacher a week or so ago, and I think I have some contention with that. I'm just rambling along and sharing my journey. And even the most exclusive can come from crap. That's right, cat shit, crazy. And that's a no shitter for sure as well. Waking up to cat shit crazy, poot and a patty. Who says a little do ain't so bad? Or is it? Well, the tortoise is eating poo. Oh, well, as much as they can get anyways. They're trying to get all the cows off the land, ain't they? So people do too, or so I've heard. But how much and how far? And again, the most exclusive can come from crap. And I'll tell you about that. And that is a no shooter from sure. That's a Cappy Luwak coffee. And the civet cat smells its own tail. The tail of the end, that is. It ain't over till the fat cat sings. Well, we're going to start out today and start the review of Bundyville, Leah Satelli. What does my journey, and would it be ironic? I think it's perfect, poetic, that is, that it was added an extra 24 hours there to a 13-hour trip. I'm back home. It's always weird to come back from out west and seeing for miles and miles and miles and come back and just see a few 100 feet. And that's where the trees are cleared out and make some pasture. But here I am 20 miles from town and the thunder rolls. We'll hear some of that rolling along here. I think I've got myself in a dry spot. And so about Bundyville, now I've listened to it and read it, but I'm not ready to start out on that. But I'd like to start out at the end of some of these Twitters over there. Now, if this is the best you guys got, it's pretty daggum sad. You ain't got no rope tricks at all. And so I'll talk more about that too, but probably not today, but a little bit of it. Now that one, what is it? Oli PhD. I'm not sure that's pronounced a limped, whether it be a rope or a wrist, whatever. And then that other guy coming over and telling Barkshit cats to disengage with me, that I got paid to talk. So when I told him I did get paid, he moved the goalpost and says, well, no matter whether I get paid or not. But, that's kind of the thing here is what we want to be doing in this whole world is talking to another. And if you're just seeking confirmation bias and only talking to those folks that, you believe what they believe, then, it might be a lie. And so put an eye out and take a look around and see what else is out there. Challenge your own self, challenge your rhetoric. That's what you got. A little bit from Cherry Roberts. I told her I appreciate her taking the stand that she does. She come back with the standing quotes. Well, she ain't taking no stand, but really they are, right? they're fighting for their idea or ideology, and some of those folks are getting paid. So I mean, what was wrong? What would be wrong with you if you are? You know, some people do that for a living. Some folks spin it for a living, and that's for sure. As a saying, that's a no shitter for sure. Well, I left Abilene after midnight, then Thursday morning real early, late. They're lacking drivers, but I tell you, Greyhound, that old gray dog gets. It's not just a ride; it is an adventure every time. You never know what you're gonna get. That's for sure. No shit, for sure. For sure. Anyway, so I kind of look at this life's journey as getting in riding the right wave. You know, riding through that frequency, and when things is going right, it's you know, you kind of clear that you're on the right path, and you look for signs and indications along the way. When you stray, it seems like things don't always go your way. And I had a lot of conversations. You know, I've never met a stranger. Talked to a lot of folks, and interesting. A lot of things happen. So, and I added more to the things I do. These people over here on Twitter, all they do is talk smack about people, and they don't even do it very good. You know, and if you think to outsmart me, and by insulting me, well, you ain't that smart. I'm gonna tell you that right there, especially when you're using these logical fallacies, dragging in red herrings, and moving the goalposts, all this stuff. You know, you don't even have to know the definition or the category that these lie in that to see their lies and how they try to move things along. And then when somebody decides that they'd like to take and engage in some conversation with someone of a different mind, then they're kind of ridiculed or trying to be pushed into disengaging. So these people are enemies of the state, and I call them patties. So I gave them this acronym, and I've have to change it just a little bit because, well, let me tell you who was it that says over there in one of them Twitters said that I called him a patty, and he said, spell it right, dipshit. It's Paddies, saying he's Irish. Well, you know, you can be an Irish, you can be a patty and be a patty spelled with two T's the same way. And you know what? There's poots, and that's another anagram. We'll tell what those are in just a sec. You can be a poot and be a patty, but you can't be a patty and a poot. Now, let me tell you why. What is a patty? The anagram, hashtagging it. Patties, patties. So these are people attempting to terminate, people attempting to terminate individual entities' sovereignty. That's bullying. You know, they talk about bullying, these kids being bullied, and well, then they go out and want to kill somebody. What? I just don't understand y'all's logic. You know, you want to take it when it's good for you, and when it ain't, you want to spit it back out. Well, goblin semen seems to be what's for dinner over there. It gets served up regular, and a lot of people follow along there and get their belly full, and then try to spit it back out with all this bullshit rhetoric. So it ain't true. What's a poot? A poot and a patty. So hashtag that anagram, poot. It's people opposing oppressive tyrants. Now, Brand Thornton and Captain Carl, they come together and helped me with the original there, which was patriots opposing oppressive tyrants. That's a poot. Now, the poot term came from where they dug a ditch up there in Malheur Refuge. Some said for a shitter, others said for a foxhole. But hey, you can't tell the story without starting at the end, and poot that on out and lay a patty down. So remember, you Irish, I'm descended from Irish too, by the way. And part of the story that you can't tell the end till you tell the beginning, and going back to ancestry, back 1500s, and then through France and England and into Virginia and Tennessee. And that's almost where I started my journey. It's almost a year and a half since I left here the hills of Arkansas here in the Ozarks. And that's right, there are hillbillies around, sure enough. So anyways, let's go back to the end or in the middle of the end in my bus trip. Now let's go back to the beginning of the bus trip home. The old gray dog, she ain't what she used to be, that's for sure. There was everybody all across the nation being spent extra days. I spent an extra day to go, half a day. But I am home. Oh, it's nice. Yes, Hans, if you're back over here, a great welcome home. Everything undisturbed. It's all grown up, of course. But we'll have to get to cleaning, chopping up some of this grass here. Got a garden in started up there, so I'm going to do a little gardening. But don't know how long I'll be here before I kick off on another journey. I think I'm gonna go to Southern California and take a ride up to Portland, Oregon. I think we'll do it the back ways if I get a say in how we get there. Besides, I want to go back through Vegas and pick up a few things left behind. So we're going to go up, Brenda and I, to Portland, and this guy that lied about shooting at little boy Finicum. So maybe from there we'll go over to Idaho and see some country in Montana. Maybe go see Heidi to John Lamb. So back in Abilene, before I left out, a long wait, bus delayed. One comes and it's full, so I got to wait for another one. And knowing no way I'm going to get to Dallas and make my connection to have to go to Little Rock and catch that connection because there's only one runs each way, or once a day each way. And that's at 12:20 and 4:20. That's right, it is 4:20. That's always a good thing. Well, anyway, so I'm waiting there and talking to folks, doing that thing I do and wishing for a little doobie. And, things happen like that when you're in the right wave, the right groove, the right vibrational frequency. That's just the way I see it. That's where I'm trying to ride and stay and be. Anyways, this old young gal. Now, frumping, your question about runaways. It's funny you say that. Now, this girl said she was 18 and her boyfriend had dumped her off, and she was stranded there in Abilene, was trying to get home to Eastland. So I don't know how much the story of what happened there, but anyway, so I put her on my phone to get her to call somebody, and she called her mama, and then some fellas pulled up, and perhaps they was going to give her a ride, and I think they was a little too drunk. Anyways, her mama told her to walk home, and so I took a picture of her walking off in case they need any way to identify any remains. I can't believe somebody like that. It's a dangerous place, this world is. That's what we're trying to do is be safe, no matter your ideology. You want to be safe and have peace and security. But some people would say that the way to do that is by taking away the liberties of other folks. And I believe you're missing something there. But anyway, so whatever you'd call that, I did there, just putting that girl in touch with her mama, and I guess her mama didn't have enough regard to come pick her up and told her, do not get in the car with anybody when you're walking at all. So anyways, I finally get on the bus to Dallas, and it was a long ride, cramped up in there. I was sitting sideways and rolling a long way. I listened to part one of Bundyville again. It was too dark in there to take any notes. And I was going to be here, or actually over yonder in town, about 20 miles away. And when I got in there and spent the afternoon in there and putting the review together for Bundyville, at least part one. We'll come along with that later, though. There's a lot of storytelling in there, I'm going to tell you for sure. Anyways, I get over to Dallas, and it's going to be forever. I don't remember what time I got in there. 3 o'clock, 3:20, I think it was. So I was like, well, yeah, that'd be good. That's a whole other story. That happened a little later on with some things in between. Met some folks and hung out with them. And finally, we get going along the road, and headed towards Texarkana for first stop between Dallas and Little Rock. So this old boy, he's first of all, he makes a lot of funny noises. Now here I'm gonna piss some folks off, but of all the times I've ridden the Greyhound, I've never seen so many fat men loaded up on one bus in my life. Now I ain't making fun of him. This guy here, he was very annoying. Made all kinds of funny noises and stuff, and sitting right there across from me. Well, pretty soon after being an old jolly feller like fat men are, or so they say, he's trying to holler to the driver that he needs a paramedic. Driver, he says, yeah, what's the matter with you, fella? He said he had some type of hernia, and he needed a paramedic, needed a driver to pull over. And let me tell you what I told him. Now, knowing where I was at over by Mount Vernon, and knowing where the bus stop's at, which had been Texarkana, which was still some miles away, I said, "Listen, this is what's going to happen. Now, if it's something that needs immediate, if you come on, we get you up there where there's hospitals at Texarkana, and then when you
Right.
have to get back on the bus after you get released from the hospital." Was
Watch
I
your
breaking up?
position
I
there,
moved the
Vinny. We're
phone. Let
losing
me
you.
move it back. Say that again.
I said, watch your position there. We're losing you. Try
Okay.
and repeat that last paragraph.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Left hand up. Left knee on a block.
There you go.
Now I look like a pirouette.
All right, repeat that last
Doing the
paragraph.
ballerina.
You were cutting out there, so just repeat the last bit you were doing.
I dare you to. Wait, I'm taking my hand down.
All right.
If somebody like will walk up and ask me if I got a question or not. I said, well, you got your hand up for. So, anyways, the old boy there that needed some paramedics to come to rescue him for a hernia. But I suspect he's had this condition for a long time, and it obviously was not the first time he'd called paramedics. Maybe he's just tired and wanted to get off for a stay. Anyways, I says, look, we need to get on down at least to a town up here. Mount Vernon's coming up, and right there, at least, you'll if you're stopping here, they got to come to you. We keep going in a forward progression, right? And we get there where they're going to be at the same time. So it was the driver asked me to call the 911. So the 911 again, 911 in other ways as well. Some folks know about what happened at 9/11. But anyways, we're rolling along and talking to a deputy there on the dispatch. The driver, he's keep wanting to get off on these exits when there's nothing out. And I said, keep going, driver. Don't stop here. Keep going. So I got about 3 more exits down the road, and we pulled off at, what is it? It's some kind of new truck stop, like a pilot, but CEFCO, that's the name of it, CEFCO. So shout out to them. That was actually a bonus to be able to stop there. They had pretty good victuals inside and a wide selection of cold drinks. So here's your unpaid for promotion of CEFCO. Mount Vernon, Texas, along I-30. Oh, so wait, let's get back to Arkansas accent here. We've had to leave Texas behind, sure enough. Well, one of the many Vinnies. Excuse me just a minute. Let me see if I can cover this. Thank you very much. Yeah, okay. But anyway, so we got, everybody got all gassed up and with some cool drinks and snacks and this and that. And they hauled the man off in a gurney with the lights flashing. Everybody said bye-bye. And we got back on, got along the way, and pulled into Texarkana where we were supposed to be stopping. And the back window had shattered. Now, nobody knew how it happened. The driver didn't realize it, and nobody had realized it until, till they got where they was going and somebody asked. But a lady called in and said that some of the falling glass, how a windshield was shattered. Well, that's how. There's 2 windows in the bus. There's one that's smoked or dark, and then an inner clear glass. The outer one broke, so they had to get somebody to come out there and finish breaking it out. So none of the pieces were falling out along the highway. That's what we're all doing, traveling along life's highway, some in different directions. But we're trying to pull it together and talk about these folks over here on Twitter. Then I quit calling trolls. They ain't all being paid by George Soros. But, I really got to suspect somebody has more in their motivation than just a wanting or a lack of want and will to do the right thing. Really, really having a hard time. Well, one Marks and Cats is uh, just me and Santilli and Hicks, whoever that is, the only ones that ain't blocked them. Well, I mean, some people, I'll take the little guff from.
Vinny, maybe one of those trolls was tracking you, saw you got on the bus, and was taking some pot shots at the bus. So it broke the window
Well,
out.
they missed by a long shot, sure, because I was up front and it was the back window that got busted.
Yeah, they miss on everything, though, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure I'd be that important, but I do they took a shot at me in Denver, for sure. At least threatened to pull his gun. Robert Shapiro, Ryan English, those folks up there, Wart and Byrne and Spear, the judge. What a group of names, I've only had as much fun in names as was up there in the Las Vegas trial of the Clive and Bundy boys there, and Go Glory and Don't Ask Tell Stephen Meyer and his policy, which Dan, he took the dirty dealings, backdoor Dan, sure did. He took it all the way, and of course we get to the end of that, and that ain't really the end, but it'd been dismissed with prejudice. It's still not the end. The cows are still there. Now, tortoise is out there with less and less poopy to be eaten because they're trying to get the cattle off the land. Back when they was running a lot more cattle and some thousands of head of sheep across there, the tortoise thrived. So it's all based on a lie. So all this narrative of Bundyville, all based on lies. So if you start at the end and it's a bunch of crap, let's go back and look and see how it really started. Now, the argument is from Don Quixote. Don Quixote. That one's for you, Frumpy. What a clever handle. Let's say it one more time for Frumpy. Don Quixote. That's Cervantes' mount for all you over on the Twitter. And thanks to the sheriff, sure enough, Shy Reeve, and for his engagement. And I kind of figured that fella's probably a little bit smarter than me, and he don't always rub my nose in it. So I really do appreciate him. I don't think he's really a sheriff. I think he's a writer. That's my guess. I think he's an outdoor enthusiast and does writing. Now, I might be wrong. He might be a Leo, but I like talking to the fella, and we talk sometimes. And some few other folks. And then there's other ones that they want to put a stop to it. Can't have people talking, because what happens pretty soon, you'll end up having people say, why, I see that there the very same way, sure enough. And that's a no shitter for sure. It happens that way. Now, I was coming down in, when was it? January the 8th there from the, I think, I forgot what floor already. I think it's the 5th floor up over Go Gloria, where she practiced her disdain for Americans in freedom by God and guns and free speech. Can't have all that, right? Can't have folks talking one to another. Or what happens pretty soon? Well, I just said it. Y'all know. Huh. It's been a pretty good trip. Where was I? Well, we left, finally got the old window knocked out completely and run on down the road and got to Little Rock. And what time was it? Oh, it was right on before 8, because I closed it down from 8 to midnight. And old boy in there said 8 to 9:30, and what it was going to have to happen, I was going to have to sit there till 11 o'clock next morning with 4 hours outside on the streets of North Little Rock, waiting for a bus. And I spent all those 4 hours out there anyway, sure enough. And but anyways, buddy of mine talking about reception home. We're talking chatting a long way, texting by phone, and another buddy of ours, he shows up to come see if I'd made it home yet. Wonderful welcome home. Yep. And so my one buddy says, my other buddy, he says, no, he's going to be stuck over in Little Rock. He says, well, let me go get him, but I ain't got no gas money. You ain't gas money? No, says my one buddy to the other buddy. So I tell the second buddy there, look here, go to my other buddies over there. Tell them I said give you some money for gas and come over, and I'll give it back to him. And so sure enough, he went over there. My one buddy of my buddy, that's a buddy of ours, and went to my buddy and picked up a little money and come up and picked me up there in Little Rock and come on home. On the way as it be, wow, how things change in a year and a half. You ought to see a little town of Clinton. A lot of changes there. The sheriff's out. He stepped down. Scott Bradley. A lot more to that story I'll have to find out about. Cop's sisters ended up. She ended up under the bridge, drowned, or at least there's a murder investigation going on. I ain't sure what's going on, but definitely been a change town here since I've been gone this past year and a half. Where was I? Oh, yes. So we're coming home. Oh, boy, I could tell I was getting home when I started seeing this green grass and trees are growing. And the closer I got, the closer I felt like I was coming home, sure enough. When I woke up this morning, I said, well, I am home, ain't I? Yeah, and before that, I hadn't been there 5 minutes, and it was like I hadn't even left. I said, by golly, I'm home. Here at the end of the journey, but it ain't really the end. I'll guarantee you. I ain't done rambling. And well, I'm rambling now. Rolling along. Let's get ready to ramble, ramblers. Well, so we stopped by one buddy coming back home, and well, for some of that recreational use and medicinal value of the cannabis plant, and still got a big old fatty hooked up there. Come on to the house and set up pretty near it all night. So I've taken got me a couple hour and a half sleep in out of that last 2 days. I'll sure sleep good tonight, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go through my house and evict any snakes or any other critters that might have moved in. So be house cleaning tomorrow. Got a lot of stuff to do. I have to go to town and get power off. That's another long story, but yeah, I wouldn't think somebody else's power was gone. That's short of it. So I have to turn that back on. Here comes my other buddy. He come over this morning and give me a hug. And his boy is getting big. I'll tell you what. What are you doing? Service. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, I got service here. Oh, yeah? Where are you going? No, that's trying to see if you had a phone. Kevin ain't got a phone. His ass is sleeping. I got a phone right here, but I'm on Skype with it. I'll be down here directly. I'll come up. Yeah, some good doobies. What time is it? No, I say, what time is it? Around 12. It's noon o'clock. It's past that. I've been talking for a minute. What time is it, Gary? I don't know.
It's 28.
I can't. I'm on Skype.
28.
Half an hour. It's 12:28. All right, I'll be down directly. All right, let's see you. Yeah. It's a welcome home party tonight, bud. Oh, yeah. All right. I see you in a bit. I got a lot of friends. And, well, from criminals to cops and common folk in between, as a story to be told. Sheriff Bradley, I was telling you, he's gone, stepped down. I like the guy. He's a pretty good guy. One of his deputies called in and said, hey, this old boy got 6 pot plants back here in the backyard. He said, just 6? He said, oh, that ain't worth fooling with. He said, I'll let them go. Now, if you got a sheriff that's willing to start at that point, I think he's a pretty good old boy. But anyways, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to find out. There's supposedly a big investigation going on. There's been a sheriff appointed. Now, I guess they voted yesterday for a new sheriff, and Kenny, his last name's slipping me. He used to be up a jail administrator. He's a Christian man, and I think he'd be a good sheriff. And Lucas Emberton, a buddy of mine, he used to be a bootlegger of all things. He's got a pretty good chance of winning too. So everybody's going over here straight down the party line and checking off the red hat box over there. So Republican red, life in red states. Yeah, they told Mike Stickler Bundy Strong at Bundy Strong on Twitter. You know, he wrote that book, Clive Bundy, American Terrorist or Patriot. We talked about that. He's fixing to gear up for.
Vinny,
Yeah.
I got a question here in the YouTube chat. Buster would like to know how many times you slept with that girl you were trying to chat up there.
We didn't sleep. I didn't sleep with her.
Well, there's no sleeping going on, but you know.
No. I'm just a frisky fella. I like to flirt. You know, kind of like Augustus McCrae. If any of y'all seen Lonesome Dove, that's one of my favorite movies. Yeah.
So what you're saying is she's not a cousin.
Well, no, and we wasn't in Arkansas anyway, so there wasn't any rules pertaining to that sort of thing.
All right, man.
It's raining, but I'm in a dry spot.
All right.
Okay, Frumpy, Buster. He's very concerned about the mating rituals of Arkansas, as we call it around here. Now then, well, where was I? Anyway, so I was talking about Scott. Yeah, and one old cop's sister, I guess she kind of walked the other side of the line when it comes to law. And they suspect it may have been foul play. And I guess they just pulled her out or fished her out here not long ago. Now, again, I'm working off of rumor and conjecture here, but I was told that they passed and this guy told me he's a bullshitter for sure. So whether it be true or not, I don't know. It said they passed around a petition and asking for Scott Bradley to step down. That some of his deputies was being extrajudicial and rumored that they killed old Dusty. Some of you may remember when I told you when Scott Sheriff Bradley come up here to my door and I was laid in there. Taking the afternoon siesta and letting the cool breeze blow across me, but he did kind of way I like to do things out here in the country. I guarantee you come out here, you'll catch me running near naked if you're looking. So, but if you're looking, then hey, there's plenty other directions to look out here with the other land view. But anyways, y'all, Dusty was found drowned in the river here. I guess it's been a couple of years ago, anyways, and. A lot of people have been talking that that was foul play. So don't know how much we'll know or learn about all that. But, yeah, it's a little different. They've built, buildings in town and widening the road, making the highway bigger. It goes from Conway, which is Conway's between Little Rock and Fort Smith. But anyways, you go 65, it goes up into Harrison, through Harrison into Branson. So a lot of traffic through there, and they want to make a little better highway. Who will build the roads, Larkin Roads? Let's say. Well, there's a lot of millions of dollars, I guess, a mile, and bridges. Forget about it. You might be looking at, I'm gonna guess $20 or $50 million in some cases. All that comes, fed back through the corruption, how the system works. Certainly could be a lot of different ways for going about this world that we live in, and that's what we're doing, taking a PonderGander and a wandering as we wander along the way. Well, I got a lot more to say, but I guess I'll save it and say it later before that wasper gets after me. Yeah, I ducked them. And I think I'm going to walk through the raindrops and head on back up yonder. And lots to do here. We're catching up. Got a lot of friends, I make friends everywhere I go. So I keep some wherever I go. Yeah. And Brand last weekend told us about the White Horse properties. I appreciate that the kind words there at the end, Brand. Good friend. He and I do not agree on many different things, but we might even talk real loud to one another now and then, trying to express ourselves, but we can still shake hands. And that's what I was trying to say to Cherry Wilson. Look, appreciate your stand. Yeah, how can you not appreciate somebody who's willing to stand up and talk about what it is they feel is important, what they're passionate about? And of course, you're going to be biased, right? Well, I make no apologies. I'm a supporter reporter for whatever that's worth. You know, I've got a lot of titles I can tack on to the mini vinnies, and I sometimes do. It's not that I'm not crazy. Shut up. Yeah, always somebody got something to say. A lot of smartasses too. Yeah, hate them along the line. How do you respond to them? Well, you can use violent communication. Thank you, David. Uh, yeah, the drops are coming heavier. Or sometimes if you can outsmart them, then by all means, let them outsmart themselves and outstupid themselves, or you can outstupid them. And I like to play that game too. Uh, so again, if you're trying to outsmart me, you need to step up your game over there. Talking smack, don't do it. I can talk smack back. You know, set yourself up for whatever rules that you like to play by, and there's always one of me that's ready to play a game. Not all kinds of games, Frumpy. Don't get no ideas into your mind over there. I know how you're thinking. Okay. Well, Grimner, I really appreciate you, brother. And we'll cut it a short one today. And let me see if I can get set up next week. I got to get the internet back on and power positioned and all that stuff. So I determine when they can get out here and flip the flicker on the box. But, hopefully next Friday.
Do they actually have electricity in the homes out there?
Well,
indoor plumbing, by the way?
some of them do.
What's that?
No, I don't have indoor plumbing.
No.
I don't have any indoor plumbing. No, I live in the wilds.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. But I love it. I do. And so I'm thinking about maybe going down and I think the water, we're going to get some rain here just recent. So I think the river might be running. I think I might like to float the red and set in up at the headwaters. Start at the beginning and go to the end, which goes into the lake. That would be a nice trip. Take a week or two of doing. Yeah, take a little bacon and take a little beans and have a squirrel along the way. And fish, boy, it's good fishing in there.
Yeah, it probably got some good trout and catfish in there, huh?
No trout. There's trout up in the White River, but there's bass, a lot of smallmouth. There's some catfish and
crappie.
The rock bass. Not so much crappie. You get on down the lake. There's crappie and all kinds of big fish, hybrid stripers and stuff like that. And the white bass, they run up the creeks and rivers.
You got the bluegill up there?
Oh, yeah, bluegill, yeah, goggle eyes, all kinds of fish, big, little, and small.
All right.
Crawdads. Yeah, it would be a fun excursion. And I think, like I said, I'm going to go back out, I'm pretty sure, to be up there July 24th in Portland for the FBI guy lies on the stand.
In Oregon?
His life was lying up there. Yeah, in Portland. So I think I'm going to do a turnaround to the West Coast. And there's the perfect time. So I brought my battery pack. Hey, get off me, Wasper. It's a red wasp, too. They're mean bastards. So perfect timing. My battery indicator says low battery life. I'll say okay, and I'll say okay to y'all. Thanks a lot for coming along. Thank you, Grimner, for pushing the buttons and making this production happen.
All right, man. You have a good rest of your day there, and welcome back to Arkansas.
All right. Now you saw that I put you inbox there. The title is "There's Always Something Out There." And right on. Appreciate it, Grimmer. And I probably won't make I might come back in and add the pictures and stuff and things I was talking about. And there's another little old gal that had a guitar that I met in Dallas, and that's where I hung out for many hours. And we got to be good friends there, and pretty cool person. Amber, shout out to you if you're listening. And she was taking her direction of travel back towards where the heart led, and she'd been on a kind of a rough road and headed back towards where her children are. And that's what's important in life. What matters is worldwide. It all seems to be the same wherever you go. Anyways, call me gone.
Yep, peace, brother.
Peace.